what a joy this game is. What a blessing it is to have in our lives, because I have played golf thousands and thousands and thousands of times. But for whatever reason, I am so excited to get to the golf course. I'm going to get there like an hour before. I'm going to stretch. I can't wait to be outside today.
That was an amazing little pump-up speech. I think I just went on my little app. I think I'm going to go play some
You got to
holes,
play.
maybe.
Look, it's so nice out.
It's beautiful out.
Foreplay presented by Barstool Sports. We're going to time jump here. We're going to time hop. It's Tuesday, I believe, August 22nd, 2023. But it's not Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023. It's Sunday. We're doing a weird recording. We're all over the place. We got Long Island Classic on Monday. A bunch of people are going to be out there. We're all going to be out there at your guys' kind of home spot. So we're doing a time jump. I don't know how we're going to handle it on Sunday, but we're going to try. The BMW hasn't even finished yet. Max is kind of up there. Rory's up there. Kind of a crazy leaderboard, which is what you're going to get in the playoffs when it kind of dwindles down to so many folks. Brian Harmon's playing really well, but we don't know who won yet, fellas.
Congratulations to Max Homa on winning the BMW. That's a great win for him. It's a huge win. I know he made that triple on Saturday, but congratulations to him. That's just a huge, huge win.
Yeah, for Matt Fitzpatrick to finish the season with a victory, I think is just massive for the Europeans going into the Ryder Cup. It feels like there's been a lot of talk about the U.S. team, who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. So for Matt to cap what was really not the best year, apart from that win at the Heritage with another victory, it's just really big for him at the end of the season.
You knew Rory McIlroy was going to win because he just shows up. The FedEx is kind of his thing. He's a money maker. He's an ATM guy. Yep. That's just what he is. He's a human ATM. And this fucking guy just came. I don't know what he did. I really don't know what he did today, but I know that he just won. I don't know how he did it. I don't have my contacts in. And when we first hopped onto the show, I thought that Danny's screen was me. And I almost said, where's Danny? Like when we were starting. And then he goes, let's do it. And I'm like, oh shit, that wasn't me that whole time.
I think it's because of the hat, maybe.
All I know is like from my vantage point with my nearsightedness, I thought that was me, man. Like, swear to God. Really weird feeling.
We both are wearing a hoodie and a hat, so there's some similarities.
Yeah, I was like in the corner of my eye, I'm just like, oh, that's my screen. That's Trent. That's Riggs. And we're just waiting.
How blind are you
Danny.
without your contacts? How blind are you?
I'd say pretty blind.
Yeah, I think in the mornings I'm more blind, but I'm pretty blind. But like my prescription's not the craziest, so I don't know. I just can't. It just looked like me. That's all I gotta say. But congratulations to Rory McIlroy for winning, the BMW in Chicago.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lucas Glover. 2 wins in a row wasn't enough, so 3 wins probably gets him on the Ryder Cup team. So congratulate! What a comeback! What an unbelievable comeback from Lucas with the swamp ass and the whole situation, the whole deal. We don't know who the fuck
Brian
won.
Harmon just fell short. Sucks.
Hey. Scotty Scheffler up there just couldn't quite make the putts that he needed down the stretch.
Good tournament though, really good.
Great tournament.
Is Scotty back on he's got like a spider? I looked. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's got like a custom spider they made him where like the weight is more forward or something, so it feels like a blade, but he's using he's back in the TaylorMade. It's nice, back in the family.
Yep, we like to see that. We very much like to see that. I have a quick airline story. I'm going to shout out United Airlines. I'm going to shout out United Airlines because I arrive in Newark, check 3 bags. We were all in Charlotte. We're doing a whole deal. I arrive. I only have 2 out of the 3 bags. Go to the baggage office. They say your bag was sent to a different terminal. I say, why was my bag sent to a different terminal? They say, we're not sure, but your bag's in Terminal C. You're currently standing in Terminal A. I said, all right, is somebody going to bring it over here? They go, nope, you got to get on a bus. So you got to go over there and you got to get it. I said, well, I got golf clubs. I got all kinds of stuff. And this guy, this absolute hero, goes, no problem. He sprints. He gets one of those carts. He throws all my shit on a cart, takes me to the bus, taps the lady on the shoulder that's standing in front of the bus. He says, you make sure this guy gets on the bus that goes to Terminal C with all this stuff. And I said, thank you so much. Everybody can't do everything perfectly. You guys messed up, but you're doing everything you can, which is all that we ask. So anyways, we get there. I get over to Terminal C. I stand in line for 10 minutes. I finally get my bag. And then I got to say, it's the most welcome back to New York thing of all time where I call an Uber. I go stand outside. And it's been probably an hour and a half since I landed at this point. I go stand outside. I'm waiting for my Uber. And the guy calls me, goes, the whole thing's shut down. There's no way I could get in. I said, I'm looking at Ubers everywhere. They're everywhere. There's 1,000 Ubers I'm looking at. You got to be able to get here. So he's on the phone going back and forth with me. And then he calls me back and he goes, hey, I'm going to be driving by in like 1 minute. And if you're not ready to go, I'm going to miss you. And if I miss you, it's going to cost me like an hour. So I'm like, all right, I'm fucking ready, man. I'm ready to go. And right as I think I'm looking on the GPS, is about to come, this guy, Lance, says, a big fan, says hi. So we're chit-chatting. And I'm like, Lance, look, I've had a long day. I can't miss this Uber at this moment. This is a huge moment. So I'm chatting with this guy, but I'm like, I don't want to ignore you, Lance. And then right as the whole thing's happening, this lady just falls down. And I mean, like, she's got a cane. She's got a huge brace on her knee. And she's with her, like, probably 16-year-old daughter. And this lady just falls down. Cane everywhere, luggage everywhere. And the daughter just starts crying. Like, the daughter doesn't in any way help, like, doesn't move a muscle. She just stands there holding her luggage and just starts crying. So me and this other guy go over there and help this lady up. I've got the cane. He's got her. The daughter at this point hasn't moved a muscle. My phone is going nuts. My Uber guy's calling me. I can't pick it up. I'm like, this lady fell. So I missed the Uber. I have to get a completely different Uber. The guy drives by. I stand there for another 15 minutes. And this fucking girl, the 16-year-old girl, just cries. She just stands there and cries for probably 10 minutes straight. Didn't move a muscle. Just cries while her mom was like laying on the floor. We're trying to help her up. Eventually end up getting in the Uber. I called the guy. I'm like, you wouldn't believe it. I know I missed you. I said I was going to be ready. Lance said hi. And then this lady fucking fell down. It was just complete chaos. It was the most welcome back to New York thing of all time. So it's nice to be back in New York. You can't fabricate the chaos that goes on here. And there's kind of a beauty to it. If we're going to be honest with each other, there's kind of a beauty to the just complete shit show that goes on in this place.
The only thing I can take away from all of this is that at some point you're going to find yourself on a no-fly list with all of these confrontations you've had at airports, because I just can't imagine how that they've all been going smoothly. There's just no way. You're on like a 3 or 4 week stretch of just talking to people, moving around the airports, probably aggressively trying to get places, and there's no way that you don't have a couple pictures hanging up at some sort of Delta suites or in the coworkers' rooms, like when they're getting their waters and they're putting in their lunches. There's a picture of you somewhere.
And are
There's
we
gotta
sure
be.
that all these things are actually happening and it's not just you eating too many of those mushrooms before you go to the airport? Because the frequency with which you're getting into dire situations at the airport is beginning to become concerning.
When this lady fell down with the cane and everything, I said, you got to be fucking shitting me. There's just no way.
I was gonna say, like, we flew from Charlotte to New York, whatever day that was, and I was just gonna tell my tale of just a normal airport experience. I got on the plane, it landed. You know, it's about a 4-minute walk to the baggage area. My clubs were there about 2 minutes later. I grabbed them. I walked out to the Uber. The Uber took about 4 minutes. And then he pulled right up and I put my bags and I got home in about 45 minutes.
No one fell or anything. There wasn't
no, it was
like
pretty normal, pretty standard airport experience for me. Pretty much all of mine are.
I was on the same flight with Alex Bush and I texted him like an hour later. I said, I'm still at Newark. I have not left Newark. He said, you gotta be kidding me. He was at home. He had like cooked dinner already. So it's just, sometimes you get some bad breaks. That lady, I hope she's all right. She handled it. She probably handled it 5,000 times better than her daughter. I would say her daughter was just not ready. Like her offspring there is not ready for anything to occur. Like she just stood there.
Well, if you're already holding a cane, I feel like you've already had a couple falls, so you kind of know the deal.
And
that would be my guess.
I'll say her cane too was probably 10 feet. Like it was probably 10 feet away from her. That's like the fall was a substantial fall, and she couldn't have handled it better. She was super, super friendly and handled it great. But yeah, she just fell down. I missed my fucking Uber. It was a whole deal. But anyways, we're back. Chevrolet, baby, the bow tie, the whole deal. Now they got EVs for everyone, everywhere. You should go to Chevy.com/electric. Seeing them all over the place. I've been seeing Chevys they've been around for 100 years. I haven't been seeing them for 100 years. I'm not 100 years old, but I've been seeing the electric Silverado cruising around quite a bit. That thing is just a fantastic vehicle, fellas.
Yeah, great vehicle. I was in Africa and there's a lot of Impalas. And every time that they said Impala, I said, wow, like the iconic Chevrolet bow tie.
It's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one. I was waiting for that Chevy
trusted
read.
with transportation needs for the last 100 years. They've always been there for you before. Who better to take you into the next phase, which is obviously electric vehicles. They've been in the EV game for a while now. They're selling hybrids, all electrics for over a decade. Chevy is a trusted brand with innovation and with scale and the bow tie. So do yourself a favor. Don't do it for us. Don't do it for Chevy. Do it for you. Go to Chevy.com/electric. Go to that link. Go to that site. Check out a bunch of these iconic models that they have, how beautiful they are. And now they're in this phase, this era, the electric vehicle era. So do yourself a favor. Go to Chevy.com/electric. Colonial Springs tomorrow, right? This is your guys' track. I feel like I've seen this joint all over the place.
Place is looking fucking pure right now. The course is running so smooth. The greens are lightning and firm, and just everything is perfect. Gene, the super there, has gotten the place dialed in. Dan, the pro, is just so excited for us to be there. The place looks amazing. Everyone that's been there so far from Barstool that's like gone to set up is like, this place is insane. Like, I'm telling you, it is a diamond in the rough in that area. It's legitimately in the middle of a million cemeteries. You would never know this place existed. It's like, how is there a golf course here with all the really good golf on Long Island? You've never heard of Colonial. Now all of a sudden you're in this place. There's a million, like I said, tombstones to your left and your right. And then you look straight ahead. It's just a fucking pure track. I played last night or yesterday. I played like basically all day yesterday. Texted Trent, never answered me. So it was really, we needed a fourth. And then when you ask someone to be the fourth, Trent doesn't don't respond.
So
when you don't respond though, like you're waiting for that person to respond. So then you're like waiting to text other people. So then you just end up having three because you're like, well, I don't want to ask this guy. And then Trent like comes, then you have five. And then you put yourself in a bad situation. So like three adults are standing there waiting for Trent to answer. And then we waited an hour. So I ended up getting a guy on the range to play with us. And the guy shot 67 in our group. So
that was same thing. It's like me. It was like
just some random guy, or was he
this
like
guy,
a pro?
Well, he's always there. He like plays mini tour events. I think he's like trying. His name is Todd Green.
Did I show up?
His name is Todd Green. No, he played 18. His name is Todd Green. And he shot a 67 and absolutely just rinsed us. It was like, I mean, how do you pick up a guy that just fucking shoots 5 under? That's not a real number, right? To go out there and go even on the front and 5 under on the back it was a sight to behold. The eagle, 3 birdies or 2 birdies or 3 birdies. It was incredible. It was an incredible round to experience. And you just get to see like, that guy's so fucking good. And he's like, I'm trying to go through like stage 1 next year, which I guess he was talking about like Q school. And I'm like, we were just at the fucking Corn Ferry. Like, this guy is so good at golf. And I don't even know that he's close to what the guys are doing that we saw in Chicago. Like, I don't even know if it's the same level. And I saw him just destroy the golf course that I can't even come close to playing well on.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is all these members in these East Coast courses or people thinking that like, oh, these Corn Ferry guys aren't that good. Maybe they're just playing bad courses. Where the Corn Ferry is this week, Matidaconk in southern Jersey is known as like one of the hardest courses in the area. It's like there was this whole hoopla before the tournament that the course record was 67. And a lot of the members were, which is pretty high for a course record. And the members were saying, yeah, I think it might hold up this week. The second group, someone shot 65. It's just like when these guys come to town, your golf course it just isn't as hard as you think it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally get what you mean. Yeah, we saw the Corn Ferry Tour really opened our eyes to just how fucking good these levels of golf are. We've obviously seen the PGA Tour our whole lives, and then you go to a place and you get to see it up close for 7 days, like we did from that at the Glen Club, and it's just different, man. It's different. Yeah. I hadn't seen like an amateur tear up a golf course like that in a long, long time. I don't know if I've ever really been in a group where a guy shot 67, just like kind of just putzing around, like with us, like playing a match. Like he wasn't really even paying attention, and he was missing a lot of putts. Like me and my buddy in the cart were like, this guy can't make a putt today. And at the end of the round, I'm like, dude, 67, that was fucking insane.
Yeah, Keegan said this in Side Gig. He's like, no matter how hard the course is, my caddy and I always talk about like someone's going to shoot 7 under today. Like, someone's just gonna do it. It happens every single day.
And then I thought to myself, like, it's almost like a bad place to be. I mean, obviously that guy is playing incredible golf, and he like had a great Saturday. I mean, he made a ton of birdies. He made an eagle. He won his match. We paid him like $400 basically. We got rinsed every single which way and every single press possible. And then you got to like think that you're going home and you're like, fuck, man, I'm like not far. I'm far off, but I'm not far off. Like I'm like somewhat there compared to the rest of humanity.
Yeah, you can't look away because you feel like you're actually within touching distance, which is hard.
He's cruising drives like over 310, 315. He's just right down the middle. His irons are on the stick. Like he's there. Like there's not that much more. There is that much more, but there's not. You know what I mean? Comparable to like, the people behind him, he's way ahead.
Unless he shoots like 58, it probably sucked for him. Like the whole day probably sucked because he's just right. It's like he's hitting it straight. He's hitting it the right distance. He's like
Cam Young.
Made another par.
That's right. That must be infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. Good golf is.
Yeah. There's like levels of mental golf as you get better probably have to just fucking tear your brain apart.
I think I texted you guys this, but 12-year-old Pete, who defeated me in a public match, who's now 15.
How old is he now?
He's now 15. Yeah. I think he's like
he's a plus 5.
I think he's going to be a sophomore, maybe. Him and his family took him out to Liberty National like 2 weeks ago, and we played from like 6,800, 6,750, and he shot 7 under 65 with, I believe he had 2 3-putt pars, and like you're saying, Frankie, now like by no account did he putt great. Like he actually missed a lot of putts. I think he felt like he left a ton out there. Just a 7 under 65. He's 15 years old. Just 15 years old. And it was just every fucking shot right where he wanted to hit it. He's hitting cuts with the driver when he wanted to. He's hitting draws with the driver when he wanted to. And I'm just like, this fucking guy is 15 years old, big smile on his face. Couldn't have played faster. We're just ripping through. It's like, I even noticed we're on the tee yet. Bang. Missile down the middle, like 310 down the middle every time. It was fucking unbelievable. So, and he's just smiling, laughing, like he wasn't even trying. So he's not even fucking trying. He shoots a good 7 under 65. So good golf is frustrating.
It's going to be the most Barstool bounce of all time when he becomes a PGA superstar, and we just get to follow his entire career.
We need that. We need that really, really badly. We got to lock him up. Just 15-year-old Pete, 12-year-old Pete who's 15, lock him up.
We're going to look like complete idiots if we don't lock him up. Be like, we knew this guy when he was 12, watched his entire trajectory. He became a superstar, and he's fucking rocking some other brand.
The first two Barstool like athletes to go from prep to pro are this guy and Charlie Woods. We signed both of them up, and we have them ready to go for the rest of their careers.
I could always say I beat him. I think he gave me 8 strokes. I beat him on 18.
You beat him gross?
Well, I beat him and gave me, I beat him net.
I didn't realize. I didn't know. Well, I didn't know if, when he was 12-year-old Pete, what was his handicap? He was like an 8?
No, he was like a scratch when he was 12.
I think 12 was a scratch.
So I was like a 9.
You didn't buy that he could beat you, Riggs, even though because he was 12, you thought you could like lean on him?
Well, yeah. I mean, his dad, Mike, who's a good friend of mine now, was like, we see you're in Pinehurst. We're in Pinehurst. My 12-year-old can beat you in a match. I was like, done. I'll fucking play your 12-year-old. And he beat me. I think he beat me 3-2. So I wasn't like grinding on his handicap. I was like, this kid. And he was like, now he's an adult. I mean, he's 15. He's like in high school. He's a person.
Yeah, he's a grown man. He's right. Yeah, we talk about cigars
like,
and
in between shots, he's looking at me. He's like, "Oh, like Mr. Riggs, that's for me and my brother Fish over there." And it's like cute. And then it was a good match. And now he's just hitting it 300 yards down the middle. So he's a different person now, in a very, very impressive way. Very impressive way. I gotta say, a lot of comments about the old chocolates that we magic chocolates that we talked about. People are jonesing for the link for these things. So I don't know if we need to start our own
promo link, Riggs,
our own chocolate company. But it's like I could post anything about any Peter Millar, all this. We don't get the traction that the we're not going to say the full name. I almost said the full name, but these bad boys, we got to get some sort of investment going in this thing.
I mean, it worked on me. I ordered them, and I got a bunch of them, and I took one last night. The operation.
Give us the review.
Well, yeah. So Riggs, him and I talked in Charlotte about it because I told him on the podcast I was like very interested in it. So he gave me all the information, whatever. I ordered it. It came in a day. Again, the company that runs this is a well-oiled machine. So they just sort of boom, boom, and they send them to you. I took one last night just to sort of, wade into the waters. I don't want to go too crazy. And nothing really happened. I got a little bit more tired. I felt a little stoned, probably just like not even that crazy, but it's a really low dosage. Like I would have to take probably 3 of them to like get things going, but I just wanted to take one to test it out. And I definitely felt more relaxed and I felt more tired, but I didn't get the full experience. But I ordered enough that at some point I'm going to take the full experience. But yeah, no, I like it. I like getting into this world. The one was perfect because, like I said, it just made me tired and a little high.
I'm kind of thinking at the Classic tomorrow, I might take 2 or 3 and just like later in the day and just see where we're at. Just kind of see.
I got to do it. I can't do it in public yet. I got to do it on my own time. But at some point I'll probably take 3 like on a Friday or Saturday and just see what happens. But it's an interesting world.
Shout out to to our merch team, to Frankie's idea with the Maui relief. I think we've raised over $30,000 with the T-shirt that we put out, where 100% of the net proceeds are going to relief, going to help from the wildfires out in Maui. Fantastic shirt, one of the better shirts we've ever made, I would say.
Yeah, I'm bringing that shirt, Frankie, as Frankie suggested. We're going to get Colin Morikawa some shirts because he's been a big inspiration. I'm going down to Atlanta next week. Also going to have to give Tommy Fleetwood a hoodie from our merchandise to keep that tradition alive. So, Frankie, what an idea. What an execution.
Yeah, it's a pretty common thing here at Barstool where like you know that you can do something good with all the dumb stuff that we do because we have such an amazing fan base. And when the idea comes to your head, it's like a no-brainer to just do it. And everyone like green lights it on the back end. Erica, I text Erica. She's like, yep, love that shirt. And like, just go ahead, go do it. Pilar just immediately just gets it up on the site within an hour. And then a day later, it raised $30,000. That's like the definition of the Barstool fan base of what we're able to kind of do when we're not just like pushing 20% off sales and new Peter Millar shirts and all that stuff. Like, obviously that all does great. That's how we are able to have jobs. That's how Barstool's able to go. But when we like say, hey, we're going to put on a really cool product that also is going to just go to a really great cause, because those people, they need money. I mean, in Maui, you're seeing devastation. It's the numbers, the death tolls are rising every single day. No one knows actually what's going on. They're not going to be able to recover for a long time. So every single dollar that's going in Maui United Way is helping all the families that lost somebody, all their houses, everything. So yeah, it's amazing. So thanks to everyone that's bought one. Hopefully you guys get it soon. I think the way like when they do the charity shirt work, the way it works when you get the charity shirt is like I think you wait a little bit longer because they're not able to like know how many shirts they're going to end up making. We made like thousands of shirts, so I think they're going to now print them and then send them out. So it might be a little bit longer than what we would have like when we have them in stock. We can send them out the day after you purchase them. So just stay patient. You'll get them. And thanks to everyone that bought. Pretty fucking cool. And we have merch at Eastlake, right? That's an announcement.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Oof. Wow.
Dan, you're going to be back.
Big time.
You're going to be back on site. You haven't been on site in a while, I feel like.
I've been back on site. Yeah, I haven't been on site in a little while. That's right, because I missed the Open Championship. I'm excited. Gonna see the top 30. The last tournament before the Ryder Cup picks. There's always a little bit of tension. Atlanta, great city. Staying in Buckhead, one of my favorite places on the road. Might be some Netflix action going on next week. That's just a rumor. I'm not sure about that, but that might be involved. So it's a big week next week. I'm going to be back.
Buckhead is a great area. We stayed there for the Super Bowl when it was in Atlanta. High class. Like Buckhead's
very
got
bougie. Yeah,
crazy money.
Yeah, I like that. It makes me happy.
It does, I know, but like just really, really good. Like great restaurants.
Jesus.
Great restaurants, great bars. Like we did Putt Punk at this bar. I forget the bar's name, but it was like we fucking tore the roof off that place.
Was it like Jackson's?
Really showed up.
Jack's?
I can't remember, man. My brain's mashed. If you think I'm remembering that from like 6 years ago, you're insane. But that was a fucking hell of a Super Bowl when we went there to Atlanta.
That was the Patriots? Or no, who won that one?
That was the Atlanta Super Bowl. Was
what year was it?
Because the Patriots lost to the Eagles in Minnesota.
18 maybe? Was it 2018?
So who would have been?
Was it the Eagles?
It was the
the
Eagles beat them in Minnesota. I think it was Patriots. Yeah, I think the Patriots won.
Was that? I'm looking
was that
at
Patriots Rams?
Rams.
Yeah.
13-3. Patriots.
Not a great Super Bowl. Not a great Super Bowl, but good lead up.
Atlanta's cool. I like Atlanta. Is it going to be hot as balls? Because I remember we were there. Obviously, we were there for the Super Bowl. It was like cold when we were there. But again, different time of year.
I'm sure it'll be. It's usually hot. August. They just East Lake's gotten some renovations, so excited to see what that looks like. More just excited to be out there for a little bit. I don't know. With this fall schedule not really having much juice anymore. I don't know when the next time I'm going to be out at a golf tournament is. So you gotta make them count. You never know which one's your last.
Frank, you got a pop punk performance coming up at the Barstool Awards. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's going to consist of because I know we're streaming it, so I don't know how much music we can even play. Like we're basically doing like the walk-ups. Like we're like the Roots of like Jimmy Fallon, like the Tonight Show. So I'm not sure if we can like play a full song because it's going to be on YouTube and like broadcasted and they don't want to like demonetize it all. It's very interesting. And I don't know if we're doing like a concert after. I really know nothing about it. I just know it's going to be the party of the century because it's the Barstool 20th anniversary and we're all dressing up real nice and everyone's going down the red carpet. And then I just got to play. I basically told Pup Punk, like my bandmates, that whatever we play, I'll just like play to it. Like we're not really going to get much practice in.
Wait, so if you're on YouTube, you can't even cover songs and you get in trouble?
Know. It was like there was a couple of emails back and forth, I think, with David Blattman, and he's like, these are the rules. And I just don't know that anyone really, I mean, I'm sure they all know, but, and I could be speaking out of my ass. I don't know that that's the final decision. I've got so many group chats and I've got so many things going on with pickleball and Barstool golf and fucking Pup Punk. It's just, there's a lot. We're wearing many hats right now. It's just, we're trying to schedule practices, like band practices. It's like, it's a lot. So hopefully it goes well. I'm kind of nervous about it. It's like the biggest show that we're going to do all year because it's like the Barstool 20th Awards. And I'm going to be up there playing the drums. Like if I suck, it's like, it's going to ruin the show. So hopefully
I ordered a tuxedo that I still have to try on. So if that doesn't fit, then I'm fucked. So
it'd be funny either way.
That's a big
What's
moment.
that?
It'll be funny either way.
True. That's a good point.
If you just bursting out of that thing, it's like
I think I ordered big because I didn't want to be bursting out. I'd rather look like Tracy McGrady than some like just I look huge. So
I was thinking about running back my Devon Taves wedding outfit because that was such an iconic viral like. What the fuck's this guy wearing fit? And I have it. It's just sitting there pressed.
Is that turtleneck?
The turtleneck, man. The turtleneck underneath the suit was such a move to wear. Danny, you weren't on the show at this time, but I went to a hockey player's wedding. It was during COVID.
I've seen the picture, I think.
And I thought that going to a hockey player wedding, you got to dress like different. Like you can't just wear a fucking suit with a collar and a tie. I'm like,
this was like your Met Gala.
This was, and I'm like, so I legit went to the mall and I looked at all the mannequins at all these like high end places, and I'm like looking at what's like in style, and I saw this suit, and I wore legitimately off the mannequin like exactly the way they had his setup, or its setup, and I missed. It was a swing and a miss. I was the only person that was collarless at the whole wedding, only person without a collar. And everyone was talking about it.
Like you look like The Rock,
dude. I wore it. I wore it to try and blend in and not be talked about. I just got it wrong. Sometimes you get it wrong, man. I thought that I'd be in the majority wearing something different, and I'm telling you, bro. Everyone at the table was like, "What are you wearing?" Like saying to me, like coming up to me, being like, "What are you wearing?" You know that feeling's horrible.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were trying to avoid. It's like the meme with the guy with the backwards hat. He's like, "How you doing, kids?" You thought you were going to show up and everyone was going to be in like ripped shirts and something cool, and it was
Devon
just
comes up to
wedding.
me. Devon comes up to me, like hugs me. He's like, "Thanks for coming." In my ear, he's like, "No collar, like turtleneck." And I was like, "Oh my god."
I liked the red suit you wore at Upfronts last year.
Nah, dude. I looked like Pee Wee Herman, rest in peace.
Yeah, that was great. I like that one too. I love that one.
I gotta get a fit. I haven't figured out my fit.
Speaking of hockey guys, Matt Barzell was on the golf course yesterday. Look at this guy's legs.
Yeah. Those are nice.
Jesus.
That's a
vascular,
guy.
I believe.
These are people that are just not us. I was like, what are you pushing these days? He's like 3% body fat. I don't even know what that means. I think I'm like 17%.
He said 3%. That's a stunningly low number.
I think I'm on this like smart, you're supposed to step on the scale. I'm supposed to tell you your body fat. Told me I was like 14.7 the other day.
That's still pretty good.
No, it's not. I think it's pretty fucking high, man.
Dude, I think that's pretty good, bro.
I think like athletes are.
That feels high.
7.
Yeah, but those are
Like,
professional athletes.
Dude, wasn't there that story that like if a team was like a basketball team was over like 8% body fat, like they couldn't be on the team? It was like, I thought it was like, is it the Celtics or something?
Yeah, but to Dan's point, those are like the most finely tuned bodies on planet Earth. So I don't know that you can hold yourself up to that. I mean,
I know. But
what it says here, it says for people aged 20 to 39, women should aim for 21% to 32% of body fat. Men should have 8% to 19%.
8% so the low.
4%, 14% is right in the middle of the aim period.
All right. I'm like a middle. Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing just fine.
I'm gonna bring the scale to. I'm bringing the scale to Colonial tomorrow, and we're gonna see everyone's body fat.
No chance, dude. I will not. I won't come. I won't come to the classic. I'm legit, probably like 42% body fat.
This guy's it's flubber too.
Oh, dude, no way. I'm in a bad spot. Like probably worse than I've ever been. I'm just fat right now, and I don't see the train stopping anytime soon. I've just been enjoying myself. And every time I think about eating better or working out, I just deny it and I move on and I eat Arby's.
I saw a tweet yesterday saying, "You're gonna die. Enjoy life." And I was just doing it, right? The first part just might be coming quicker.
But there's got to be a balance of, you can enjoy life and not die when you're 39. Like you don't have to enjoy it too much.
Yeah.
You can enjoy life and go on hikes and be healthy. So there's got to be a part of that. But I'm currently not in those activities.
I ate a lot of popcorn and candy yesterday. I went and saw Barbie with Emma. She's been really big on me seeing Barbie. And I felt like there was a lot of pressure on what my opinion was going to be of the movie because she kept on being like, oh, like, you need to go into this with an open mind. Like, I know you've heard all this stuff. So I just decided to fall asleep 30 minutes in. Ooh. So I slept through basically the whole movie. So I was like, yeah, I liked what I saw. You know what I mean? Like, so I basically took the escape hatch to having an opinion on the movie. I just said, no, I'm just going to sleep.
I still haven't seen it yet. I'll go in with an open mind. I mean, there's been a lot of hate, and I think visually
it was
stupid.
Very cool. Visually, it was like pretty awesome. The set design, and I'm colorblind, but from what I gather, it was like pretty amazing with the pink situation going on there. But I did fall asleep before like the messaging of the movie came through. So I mean, 10 o'clock movie. Oh, come on. I'm a married man these days. That's just insane.
It's psychotic.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, movies like a thing you do that night. You're like, oh, what do you want to do now? Let's go see a movie. 10 p.m. The night's already over. Like that's a post-night event.
Yeah, like we went out and we had drinks in Manhattan and we had dinner and then we saw the movie. It was like too much. The end. It was too much. I was already winding down, but I was very happy with the execution there because I can say that I went and saw the movie. I didn't hate it. I also didn't really have an opinion because I slept through 57% of it.
I'm excited to see it. I like Ryan Gosling. I like Margot Robbie.
He's very funny in it. It's very silly. It's very like silly and kind of self-aware. It's interesting.
Oh, I thought it was serious. I thought it was gonna be real, real gripper.
Well, I was expecting, you hear all the stuff about it's like, commentary on this and that, and it might have been, but I fell asleep, so I don't know. All I saw was pink. What I thought to be pink.
Am I seeing that a hurricane is hitting California? I feel like that doesn't. That's not supposed to happen, right?
Not supposed to happen. Yeah, there's like a Pacific hurricane or something. Not good. Things are happening. As Frankie
There's a lot of things happening. It's like one of those end of the world movies where you turn on the news and it's like. And the movie starts and they're kind of just like flipping through the news channels and every news channel is another like fire or fucking something, a building's falling down and there's a hurricane in the Pacific Northwest and everyone's like, there's a lot of red breaking news and it's all like weather related and natural disasters. It's fucking bizarre.
It's like what is that? The Day After Tomorrow, that movie where there's like tornadoes in LA and shit. That's kind of what it feels like. But also I go every other day. I flip flop on it. Like one day I wake up, I'm exactly what we're talking about. I'm like, holy shit, it's chaos out there. And the next day I wake up and I'm like, there's been fucking hurricanes and fires going on for 30,000 years of human history that there's been going. So yeah, I kind of flip flop on it, but I do think there's not supposed to be hurricanes in California. I've never seen that before. I just looked online and it's like San Diego's getting smoked by a hurricane. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I think the water's like not supposed to be warm enough, or there's some sort of issue that's happening where the water. I don't know. Not good. Not good. Because California, we already got those earthquakes. which are not good.
And the landslides and all that stuff.
And the
So
landslides,
it's
yeah.
Fires.
And fires, yeah.
I can't imagine, all that. You just, I don't know that terrain's probably built for a hurricane.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not. Yeah. And yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Earthquakes and fires and mudslides, and now we got hurricanes.
Right, because it seems like most of it's pretty parsed out. Like the Midwest gets tornadoes.
Yeah.
You guys get earthquakes and fires. Out here, it's, what is it? Probably hurricanes. Is what it is.
Yeah, but I feel like the Northeast is pretty it's a good climate. That's why so many people live there. You know what I mean? Like it's not extreme.
Yeah, but having a hurricane on the West Coast is something I've never even heard of.
It's a game changer. It's a game changer.
Yep, history, baby.
It's a new category we didn't think we'd have to deal with.
That's what I mean, Trent. Just keep eating.
When are you moving? When are you moving out to California? Is that coming?
It depends. Oh, yeah, it is coming. It depends on my wife's job situation, but she's got an interview. Yeah, she's got a couple interviews next week that she's flying out for. So the latest would be November. So, but it might be sooner if Emma gets a job soon. So soon. We're coming. Last countdown kind of vibes.
I want to play some golf in LA. I've never really played golf in the LA area.
Yeah,
shame.
We'll do it anytime you want. Anytime you want. It's some great golf out there. We should do some content out there. The course that I filmed at with Blake Griffin, which coming out on Monday, already came out. If you're listening to this podcast, you should go watch it on YouTube. Brentwood Country Club. That's where I'm going to be playing in LA. So you'll get a sneak peek of 9 holes at least.
Wow, big video coming out. Let's go.
Huge big video. Yeah, I'm excited. It's already come out, but I'm excited for it to have already come out.
Right. Big video that already came out that we're talking about before it came out. So very, very excited. People need to go onto YouTube. Stu Finer's on YouTube. There's all kinds of hot stuff. Rough and Rowdy.
Dude.
How about that guy?
That video is so fucking
Stu
funny.
Finer.
So Frank, is that the first? Yeah. So it's a pleasure and an honor.
Yeah. He goes, okay, so now what do I do? Do I put my ball in my pocket? I said, yes. And what about, he's just, if you have not watched the Stu Finer video yet, after you watch Danny's, because Danny's had already come out last night, so it's going to be kind of like a week in advance now that we're saying it, but you got to be able to just watch all these videos that are coming out, because I feel like the quality that we are pushing these things out, and we see all the tweets in the comments. Yes, we have not played together as a group in a long time. We're obviously all over the place. We're doing a million different things. We run Foreplay differently than the other YouTube brands do. We're basically a business. We got the Barstool Classic every single week. We've got podcasting every single week. We got 2 of them. So it's not as simple as like just popping together and just playing every single day together. When we do get together, it's going to be even bigger. And we're going to Sand Valley in like 2 weeks. We're filming like 8 to 10 videos there. We're going to get the whole crew together. But I don't know that we've ever put out the quality that we're putting out that we have right now. I mean, every single episode is a true, really thought out, great episode video, great editing episode. And I just think, I don't know. We're really hitting a stride when it comes to quality. And I just want to make sure that everyone understands that I'm proud of that. I think that I think these videos have been really, really good.
Dude, our guys grind. Our editors, our producers, they absolutely grind. And to Frankie's point, like tomorrow will be 5 weeks since the last time I slept in my own bed. So it's like we are busy this time of year. We're all over the place. We're getting shit done, but we do have Sand Valley is going to be off the charts. I'm insanely excited.
I can't wait.
They got the new course.
Wait. It really snuck up.
I know. It's like September is coming already, but we're all going to be together. We're going to have a whole cast of characters, Wisconsin, and then we're working on another one as well in the late part of the fall. I guess it'd be early winter. So we will all be together very soon. We might be doing I think we're going to be doing a little oceanfront action coming up in like December, fellas.
In December. Wait, so
well, I don't know what that means.
I saw the country Mexico being tossed around. Is that happening?
International?
Very near Mexico is I think is it Punta Cana? Is it Costa Rica? There's Casa de Campo, wherever
that's Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic,
which I've never been there before.
Oh,
that's supposed to be amazing. Are we going there?
We're considering going there. We've been talking with them. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Dan, who's been emailing me for years to come down there, and our schedule's insane. Like I said, haven't been home in like a month and a half. I think we're going to try to go down there. I think we're going to try to hit Casa de Campo. It's all Pete Dye. Tooth of the Dog, I think is the name of like the flagship course there. That's on the ocean. It's supposed to be fucking incredible. So I think there's a good chance we're going to go there. So we should have a little Wisconsin action when we're all going to be together. We'll be filming a bunch of stuff. And then I think we're going to have a little Dominican Republic action coming as well. So,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. That place.
I know like Cabo was tossed around. We were looking at a lot of different places. Dominican Republic's going to be incredible. Fuck yeah.
I just had forgotten that they'd been there. Like this guy Dan works for their basically PR company that they work with and has been trying to get us down there. And when we were like, hey, we have a little bit of a window in potentially December after the Barstool Classic Championship, bang, I think we're going to do it. On the beach, nice little action on the beach. I love the beach. I know Trent loves the beach. So yeah,
that'll be phenomenal.
For us, golf is very simple. It's a chance to get out there, have some fun with our friends. Dan, during the show, I don't know when this ad's going in or when it's not going in or if it's going to be before or after, but Dan gives a great hype up speech about playing golf today. And it's true. It's just the best. You get out, you're outside. It's beautiful out. You have a little competition with your pals. It's as good as it gets. Inevitably, little things can get in the way of ruining it. Frankie spoke about how he's had a little toe hook issue going on. He used to have the chipping yips. I had the driving yips last year. All kinds of bad things can happen on the golf course. The group ahead might be taking forever. You don't want that. When you find yourself stressing out over golf, like any of these situations, Fireball Whiskey is there to help you say F it and free your fire. That's what they wrote. F it and free your fire. Fireball. I mean, the iconic cinnamon flavor. We've all been there before. Beverage cart rolls around. Hey, we need a little pick-me-up. We need a little excitement. What are we going to do? Fireball shots. Take those little nips. It's really been iconic for, I feel like, our entire adult lives at this point, Fireball.
Yeah, just, when you're out there, you're maybe, like you're saying, you're a little stressed out. You're not playing how you want to. Just take a Fireball shot, relax a little bit. Fireball has been around now forever. It's so iconic that everyone knows what Fireball is. So, like you said, when the beverage cart rolls up, ask for some Fireball, relax a little bit, and have a good day out there.
Absolutely. You just need it when you need it, and it just delivers every time. Fireball is delicious. The iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire. It goes down easy, making it the ultimate crowd pleaser. If you're really feeling like upping the ante on the course this weekend, make sure to grab the new Fireball Birdie Shot Club. It is literally a golf club filled with Fireball nips. And just in general, remind yourself when you're out there, you're going to make the day a lot more fun by just grabbing a couple Fireball 50 milliliter shooters and enjoy yourself with Fireball whiskey. I played golf with Alex Bush on Friday. I have to give Alex Bush credit. We did 3 6-hole matches, and Alex Bush with the 2 guys we were playing with, and Alex Bush won all 3 matches. He went 3-0.
Wow.
Doubt it. Bush, he didn't win shit.
Wow. So he played well.
Yeah, I know he was nervous about.
Didn't play that well.
Oh, yeah. That's always.
I
say
just
that,
won.
dude.
I just won.
Maybe you're just
really
not as good
well.
as you think. Maybe you're just not as good as
That's
you think
right.
you are, Alex.
That is what it is.
That's very true. That's very true.
Maybe it's not just I played shitty I played golf with you like 10 times.
No,
every time
I'm
you're like, I
just
played
shitty.
so bad.
No, he played well enough to get the job done. It was like 30-mile-an-hour winds out there too, so it was incredibly difficult, which probably helped Alex Bush. But he got the win. Credit to Bushman. And then I wanted to get, how was the Taylor Swift bar? Bush, was it seen? He went to like this bar we had to get
it was electric.
ticket. Yeah, I bet it was awesome.
Wait. What are you talking about? Taylor Swift bar?
So Friday night, my friends and I went to this pretty much they just play Taylor Swift all night. It's so freaking corny and nerdy, but it was so much fun. But I was telling Riggs about it, and he just remembers it because he asked where it was, and I told him the name like 5 times, and I know that's exactly what's in his head.
I said to Bush,
I thought you were talking about. I thought you went to LBI and almost ransacked a restaurant.
No.
Did you think about going to LBI?
No, that's psychotic.
No, they say Swifties don't do that because Swifties know that she doesn't want
that shit's
her
psychotic.
life affected like
the
that.
pictures of her just
I
like
saw
what
it pretty
the fuck is
affected.
going on?
It looked pretty
insane.
affected from the videos I saw.
Wait, so what's the PR spin for Swifties on that then, Alex?
What do you mean?
All right, so the thing is Swifties don't try to invade her life and make it living hell, and then she shows up to an LBI restaurant and it looks like a parade is happening out front.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some are good, some are bad. I don't know.
They're claiming those aren't true Swifties. They're just like clout chasers.
They're just psychotic fucking people, and
It feels convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is
the true
convenient.
Swifties only show up when it's perfect, and then
when you buy a ticket and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go see her. No, dude,
I mean, I'm not trying to go after the Swifties. That's
I'm not either. I'm just saying.
I'm not.
No,
prepared to
Trent
go after.
definitely
very
is.
careful here, fellas.
No. I saw the biggest
Swifty
Swiftie that I know. The biggest Swiftie that I know outside of Alex Bush is Kelly Keegs, and I saw her go against what happened at LBI. So
The way you guys talk
answer.
about Swifties is the way that other people talk about Barstool and Foreplay. They're like, we cannot go against those guys. Like, if we cross those guys, it's going to be bad news for us. Yeah.
That's a scary world when you go against like Swifties or Beyonce fans,
Rico Riders.
He's
texted me a couple times with the eye emojis, being like, "You need me to send these guys after you?" Like, is that with that hole in one thing? He's like, "We're ready to go." So,
I want to be clear. I'm not going after the Swifties. I just wanted an answer on like what happened at LBI because I saw a huge mob of people and it looked like chaos.
It was chaos, man.
I had a good laugh.
That famous is wild.
I know. At the Max
too famous. That's too famous.
Yeah, that's nobody wants it. The Max Homa clip from when he went to the Taylor Swift concert, and he was there with our boy Connor, who we've told many stories about Connor and how they just got basically bullied by the Swifties because they were talking too much. So the Swifties behind him were like, "It's not social hour. Like, shut the hell up." And then
this is a religious experience.
I guess Connor is obviously 6'8", so he just has no choice. Like, he's a problem at a concert. And I guess he was sitting down, and then Max tells a story. And eventually, he's like, "I just had to stand up. Like, I couldn't see the whole concert." So Connor stands up, and they started like just harassing him, being like, "Get out of the way. Like, this means so much to us." And I guess at one point he was just like, snapped and was like, "Just get better seats." Like, I don't know what to tell you. Just get better seats. So you could go to war with the Swifties. I know Isner went to war with the Swifties too. When we were there, they wouldn't, that was when they famously wouldn't let him go to the men's restroom. He was not allowed to go to the men's restroom. So look, the Swifties are formidable, but I think that we need to tread incredibly lightly. We don't want to go up against them by any stretch of the imagination.
Just something I saw. That's all. I just saw a bunch of people surrounding a restaurant in Long Beach Island. That's all. Pretty crazy.
Great show. Taylor Swift show is just an excellent, excellent show. I'm going to try to go to another one. We got another hole-in-one controversy, fellas. This one's from Mike, and Mike says they're at Bandon Dunes. They're playing the Preserve, which is the par 3 that we all play. They got 12 people.
Nope.
So we're the last ones on the course. We're all playing together. We're having a blast. Sure enough, one of our buddies gets a hole-in-one on the 4th hole. Obviously, everybody goes crazy. One of the first comments is drinks are on Tommy. He said Tommy immediately calls out that it's a par 3 course on himself, says it's not a real hole-in-one, and he denies to buy drinks for everyone. So it's not a question of which we've debated before. This is actually putting that debate to the test of if you're Tommy and you get this ace on the 4th hole at the Preserve, are you then liable to be buying drinks for everyone like you got a normal ace?
No, you are not. Riggs, may I bring back to memory when you were with us and my friend got a hole-in-one at the Cradle on that 3rd hole where everyone was watching, and then we all took shots, and he very clearly did not pay for them. So I think that's the rule. If it's a par 3 course, it just doesn't count. You can't have it both ways. You can't have the glory of the hole-in-one and not paying for it. But if you're gonna voluntarily not take the glory of the hole-in-one, then I think you can keep the money in your pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting into this hole-in-one shit anymore. I'm saying everything's a hole-in-one. All hole-in-ones are created equal, except the fact that I got one on a par 3 like 2 years ago or however long it's been, and no one let me keep it. So I'm gonna keep a hard stance on that par 3s are not, because then I would just have one. So I mean, I don't know. I really don't fucking care about hole-in-ones anymore. My take about hole-in-ones last week have really ruined the the prestige behind the hole-in-one. They've really dampened my mood when it comes to the ace in the game of golf. Maybe one day I'll get one, and I'm sure everyone will tell me to go fucking kill myself.
Yeah, it doesn't count for me. That's I've been on the par 3 thing for a long time, so I think keep the money.
I guess I still think it's crazy to not buy the drinks. I feel like that would I don't know. I guess it puts me on the side that it's a hole-in-one, but
it is like a moment thing.
Yeah. It's like, of course I'm going to buy drinks. I got a hole-in-one on the Preserve. Probably your 4th hole's overlooking like the ocean. It's like, we're just going to be like, no.
Drinks are expensive, bro.
You're not buying drinks. That's crazy to take that stand. Come on. I think you gotta be like, yeah, dude, like we celebrated. We went, why would they celebrate? Why would you celebrate somebody else? Like, You're celebrating because it's a hole in one.
I also think the whole thing about you have to buy everybody drinks when you make a hole in one's like the craziest thing of all time.
I agree.
Everyone should be buying you a drink. You just
I did something great. Now I got to pay $3,000. Like, I don't understand what's happening.
See,
I've never
every celebration in the world. Like, oh, you got married, and then like you're handing out money to everyone because you got married. That'd be so fucking bizarre. Like every good moment in your life, you're spending it out.
Yeah.
You don't get many good moments like that. You can't have people buy you a drink for that. That's crazy. I'm not dying on this fucking one now. I'm not having a million people being
Let's
like,
do
wow.
it.
Frankie
Ramp it up.
keeps talking, and then he's like, "I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna say I'm not doing this."
I made a hole in one this weekend. So if you're gonna start counting hole in ones, I made a hole in one in PGA Tour 2K23. It took me 8 hours and 37 minutes to do it, but I fucking did it. And everyone's like, well, you played the hole over a million times. I'm like, it's a fucking video game. It's a video game.
I don't know how your voice survives. I don't know how because you go to that octave where you hear the vibration of the throat. And if I do that, I'm done. Guys, I was sick again this week. 6th time. I was talking about this.
That's pathetic.
6th time. This is the 6th time I've been sick since I joined Barstool, where it's not just like I have a cold. It's like I'm on my ass, can't get up six.
I think getting sick like that in the summer is pathetic. I think it's impossible to get like the flu in the summer.
I'm afraid that I have like a terminal disease. I think I'm going to go in and get like
just weak.
all this
Like,
blood work because like I'm actually scared.
Vulnerable person.
You got to take vitamins or something. Yeah. Do you take anything?
Trent and Riggs? Do you guys ever get like sick during the summer? I feel like that's a fall or winter thing. Like you start to get
sick like every
and,
5
you get,
years.
the little
I get
strep
sick
throat
for like 2 or 3 days. That's it,
dude.
I definitely get sick in the winter, but not
this
the
isn't
summer.
like the sniffles, dude. This was like on my couch, like taking a cold sweat nap for 4 hours on a Friday afternoon. It's bad. It's really bad. I just feel like there's just nothing I can really do. There's nothing I can do.
Somehow, you need to embolden your immune system somehow. I don't know how you do it, but you need to.
Wasn't that thing during COVID where they said like COVID couldn't spread during the summer because like once it hit the heat or the light, like it wouldn't like go. I don't know any of that.
And then Trump said they should beam sunlight into people's face.
But I mean, I think if that idea is true, the fact that you keep relentlessly getting sick during the summer shows that no matter what, even if the odds are stacked against the germs, you're still receiving them, and they're still just overtaking your body. Your antibodies
there's also the chance that I have like malaria from Africa. So that's So I'm on some antibiotics, which I'm starting to feel better. But my immune system, either this job,
in the moon, we're having fun. How weak you are.
Either my brain is
malaria.
just not. I can't handle Barstool Sports, or I have malaria.
Vitamins is my only suggestion, but who knows?
Yeah, well, I don't know how my voice stays because I screamed for like 8 hours and 95 minutes, even though that's not a real unit of measurement. I fucking just kept going and going and going and going. I couldn't stop. I could not stop. People were telling me, and the craziest part about the whole deal was I started at like 11 a.m. and we were fastly approaching Rough and Rowdy. And I was like, I need a hole in one now because I don't want to deal with all that. Like I was going to put up a slate on the screen and say, watching Rough and Rowdy, coming back later. And Rough and Rowdy ended at what, like 11:30? So it's like, now I'm taking a 3-hour break. The stream's still running. I got to come back and attempt that. Like, doing a hole in one challenge on PGA Tour 2K23 will legitimately send you into like a fit of rage and like lunacy because
only
the comments
could, like, find yourself in a self-created prison where you have to like basically be in a room screaming and trying to get a hole in one in a video game forever.
Like a very stressed situation.
And the coolest part of the whole deal was I was playing with my character. We're in the video game. So like that's something that like we don't talk about nearly enough. Dude, you go on PGA Tour 2K23 and you go to the players and it says Tiger Woods and then it says Frankie Borelli, Trent Ryan, and then I think it says Riggs now. Riggs Barstool or something. I think or it just says Riggs.
I think it's just Riggs. We got it switched. Nobody knew who the fuck Sam Bozolian was, so we had to change it to Riggs. And I'm just
thinking like I don't even know if anyone knows who Riggs or Trent or Frankie like the way they have it set up, we're just in the mix with all the pros. So like anyone playing's like, who is this?
Right, like, I talked about that. I've talked about that. I mean, that game, we've got our crowd and our crowd buys it, but then there's the PGA Tour 2K23 has a huge crowd that people just get that game and they play it and they look at like, oh, I'm going to play with who today? Tiger Woods. Oh, Colin Morikawa. who is Frankie Borelli? Why is he even in this game? That part makes me laugh all the time.
I'd love to see clips because I'm sure there have been thousands of people who the fuck is this guy?
100%. Just think about when you were playing games like growing up, like you look through the whole player list and you're like, oh,
yeah, be like
this guy
Big Kahuna Tom. You're like, who the hell is that?
We're just like, who are these three guys? They're just three guys there, and Trent's like a 27 overall. They're like, what's this guy's story?
Right.
So I mean, it's fucking, oh my god! But I ended up getting it with I think it was 13 minutes before Rough and Rowdy started, and it was just the best feeling of all time. I was able to go in the backyard. I cracked open a beer. I had my buddies come over and we watched Rough and Rowdy, and it was just the best feeling ever to just get out of this room and just not have to play that game, even though I love it. Dude, the comments for this hole-in-one challenge were like, you're getting close. And I kept going crazy on them because I'm saying attempting a hole-in-one on each hole doesn't get you closer from one hole to the next at all. Like, it's not you don't gain traction on the hole. You're not, there's no like momentum on the hole. That next swing is a brand new swing. There's
all in a vacuum.
Everything's in a vacuum. So for them to keep being like, you're right there was making me infuriated. I'm like, I'm not.
Literally,
I'm
6.5
right
hours in, the split second that the ball misses the cup, you are just as close as you were when you started 6.5 hours earlier.
Right.
Identical.
Right. So I had to take the wind off. So if there's an asterisk next to it, I had to take the wind off. I wasn't even getting close. And everyone's like, oh, that's bullshit. I'm like, there's days there's no wind. Also, like, that's an option in the game. Like, why do I have to make a hole in one where there's like a 17-mile-an-hour wind? I don't like, that's not like that's not like a standard hole-in-one thing. So I fought the comment section a little bit. There was like 2,000 people in there for 8 hours, and it was a fucking scene. But I'm gonna do it again. I enjoy it. I really love it. I think it's great.
It's like setting a mark is a good thing. Like 8 hours and 37 minutes. That's your mark now. That you have to beat your own record. If I ever do it, I got to beat 8 hours and 37 minutes, and you just keep trying to do it faster and faster than the last guy.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's really fun. Like,
that sounds really fun. What you just described.
It's like, it's obviously horrible, but like I was like singing the whole time. I was just having the day. Hannah's like on a bachelorette party, so she wasn't even here. Everyone's like, you've been screaming since 11 a.m. and it's fucking 8 o'clock at night. Like, what's been happening in that house on the Friday? Like, that sounds like the worst Friday in a house of all time. But I was home alone. Like, I just had nothing else to do, and I was whatever. It was a work day trying to make a hole in one. Pretty good Friday.
Yeah, you're grinding. Congratulations on the hole in one, by the way, Frankie.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I had quite the incident situation, however you want to describe it, at the Pinehurst house this weekend. So on like Friday, I start getting some messages start to creep their way in. I get a couple DMs from a couple caddies. Our boy Hanky, who works in the shop at Pinehurst, texted me and said, "What's going on at your house?" I said, "What do you mean?" And apparently, there was a group that rented my place at Pinehurst this weekend, and it was, I believe, a girl's 30th birthday party weekend, and they were in bikinis in the backyard with an inflatable pool and like inflatable like all kinds of items in the backyard at Pinehurst number 2. And now I start again getting whispers of like there are like 10 girls or so wearing nothing in your pool, or in a pool that wasn't there 2 days ago in your backyard. And that is maybe 8 feet from the third tee on Pinehurst number 2. So there's this situation.
Sounds like a dream.
I guess they were like raging, listening to music, betting shots against all of the golfers. And I knew, I'm like, well, this could be potentially right. Like, optics wise, it's probably not exactly what Pinehurst wants, but by all accounts, me and my brother, we reached out to them. Everyone's having a great time. They're like betting shots with people, like I said, and having just a delightful time. The girls couldn't have been nicer. But I think like the starters came by and were like, if you guys would like you can take this. We actually have a pool over at the Carolina Hotel. And they were like, nope, we're going to stay right here. So it was just an absolute rager going on with like 10 or 12 girls or whatever it is, basically out there sunbathing in bikinis 4 feet from Pinehurst number 2 throughout the whole weekend. And I kind of said, I was like, look, they rented out the place. They seem like they're having a great time. Everybody else seems to think they're having a good time. I imagine there had to be at least a handful of, older school type folks that were not thrilled with the entire situation. But apparently, if somebody was in Pinehurst this last weekend, they might have seen a massive pool party going on in my backyard throughout the entire weekend. And it sounds like I guess it was a good time. But yeah, probably not what you expected when you go play Pinehurst.
I think it adds to the experience for sure. It's just a Pinehurst number 2 and a show, and then you just move on your way. I think that should be standard at every golf course.
I was kind of thinking that too. I was like, maybe we just give this to these girls every single weekend. They just go rage there the entire time. But yeah, if you were in the Pinehurst area, you might have seen that throughout the weekend. A couple more from the galleries. Also, quick shout out to Alistair. We don't know how it finished, but our boy Alistair Docherty on the Corn Ferry Tour, I think he's inside the top 15, right? He's like 8 under. I think the lead's 14 under.
T12 going into Sunday. Big day. Big day with the finals coming up. Chance to push up the board.
Let's go, Alistair. So good luck to Alistair, obviously. And then the U.S. Amateur. We have a U.S. Amateur final today?
36-hole final. They just teed off. Nick Dunlap against the guy with the long hair who, I don't, his name is evading me right now, but that clip of him walking it off yesterday was pretty electric.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
That was badass.
He ripped that. He just like hit a little wedge in and it just hit the back of the green and ripped all the way back to the hole and the place went crazy.
Neil Shipley.
What?
Neil Shipley. That's right. Neil Shipley.
Calling him Ship. They're calling him Ship.
Yeah. Nick Dunlap is a player. He's Alabama. I think he's a sophomore. Him and Gordon Sargent are kind of like the 2 best prospects, I think, in college golf right now. I think they're both sophomores. I don't know if it's kind of funky because they're between years. But yeah, this guy Dunlap won the U.S. Junior, could win the U.S. Am, which, that double doesn't happen very often. So remember that name if it's the first time you're hearing it, Nick Dunlap.
The golf course looks really hard. Looks really, really hard out there.
Yeah, I've never played it. I would like to. My mom's from Denver. Never played Jerry Hills. Looks sweet. I think they redid it. And the first hole is obviously super famous with that Arnold Palmer driving the green. I saw some videos of the guys doing that. Bryson was out there, just showed up. Did you guys see that?
That was bizarre, yeah.
That was bizarre.
Bryson?
I don't know. Smiley was like, when I tell you this is the last thing I expected to see, this is the last thing I expected to see, because he wasn't just there. He wasn't just there cheering people on. He was ripping a persimmon driver on the first hole while I'm pretty sure the competition was going on the back 9. So it was the Bryson show.
Yeah, that was insane. He kind of went rogue and just like grabbed the persimmon and just hit a million drives and was going nuts, like screaming after hitting them, asking for another ball. What was like, why?
He was doing this little 2-step where he'd be like, this is the last one. And then he hit one. And then he like does this little like thing where he's like, okay, I got one more. And the crowd was loving it. You could tell.
I love it.
When he gets a crowd around his finger, he loves it.
That's the Bryson we need. I got to be honest. We don't need him doing interviews about 9/11. And like, he is not made for that world at all. He's horrific at that stuff. He should be on the tee trying to drive greens and shit while tournaments are going on. But that's the Bryson we need. When he was the best Bryson of all time. Ryder Cup 2 years ago, obviously, when he drove the first green and then made eagle. And that same year at Bay Hill, he was trying to drive like the 5th green at Bay Hill, and then he went crazy when he like drove it over the water. That's Bryson, baby. He's got to lean into who he is.
You ever been in one of those events? You ever been in one of those events where they have like a guy who's on the tee who like is a long drive guy and he hits the drives for you on a certain hole? It's like a charity scramble. If Bryson wasn't playing on the PGA Tour, he'd be amazing at that job. Just standing on the tee and being like, "What's up, guys? We're gonna rock one out there today."
Yeah. That was one of the weirdest clips I've ever seen in a great way. Like I said, I feel like that's what Bryson should be doing. Where are they at with are they almost done on the live situation?
They're done for a month. And then they have a couple more and they're playing the year end. Remember the tournament that we liked last year in Florida? That's in Saudi this year. So yeah, that's they finish out in the kingdom. So they've got the match play off.
Don't they do match play? Is that right?
Yeah, they do like an actual team event, and it's actually pretty good. They should do that more often, if you ask me.
They're going to do it in the finals in Saudi. I saw they're building that line city. Did you guys see this thing? It's going to be like $1 trillion.
That construction site was like nothing I've ever seen before. The amount of cranes.
Dude, they're building.
It's like wild.
It's like hundreds of miles or something, isn't it? Isn't it massive? like massive. How far is this fucking line sitting?
The picture of what the picture of what the final product is supposed to be is like something you've never seen before. It's like a big window almost, or like a big piece of glass that just goes for like miles from basically the sand into the water. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's a city, right? It's a city within a building.
It's like a vertical city that they like
110 mile long city is part of Saudi Vision 2030 project, which Saudi Arabia claims will create around 460,000 jobs and add an estimated $48 billion to the country's GDP. 110 mile long city, just one building city.
Yeah, it's been interesting being, soccer and golf being my two sports that like my favorite sports. Soccer, they've had the Saudi effect like enormously this year. Yeah. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo, they signed a lot of good players. Neymar just signed there. They flew him over there in like the Prince's jet that was like his own personal Boeing 737 for one person. It was a hilarious picture. And a lot of my soccer friends are like, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, well, this has been going on in our world for the last 3 years. Turns out when they offer 5x what everyone else is offering, there's going to be a lot of guys who take it, and a lot of people are not going to be happy about it. It's like deja vu watching them sign all these players over and over again.
So they've got Cristiano, they've got Neymar, right? Who else did they get?
Yeah, Sadio Mane they signed. They've got Ruben Neves, who was really good. They signed a couple guys from Liverpool, Firmino, Jordan Henderson. Most of the guys are kind of toward the tail end, but they've also signed Mahrez from Man City. Yeah, there's just a lot. It's like hard to even name them all. There's probably 20. They probably signed 20 guys from like top level teams in Europe.
How big do those deals look as opposed to like a Ronaldo and a Neymar?
Well, the Conte from Chelsea they signed. They're paying them. I don't know exactly. Like the guys who aren't the big, huge guys are getting like 20 million a year, which is like 4 or 5 times what they would get before. So I think it's pretty similar where it's like a multiplier as far as your actual wage.
I love that you just said 20 million a year, and I was like, jump change for like that's pathetic.
Chump change,
like Neymar getting like $700 million or whatever the hell. It's like just
Neymar I think is getting like 250 a year plus whatever package they give him.
Must be nice. Must be really, really nice. They all play for the same team.
Also shows how much, like, when you look at that's a good question. When you look at the scale of how influential soccer is as opposed to golf, like the highest paid golfer was who probably, and how much did they get? Like Phil
probably got like 200 million for like 4 years or something, 3 years, 4 years. So
then Ronaldo's getting what?
I mean, I don't know. I know that Neymar just signed for 250 for 1 year.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Riggs, no, they don't all play for the same team, but the PIF owns every team. So if you go up high enough, it's sort of all the same.
It's all the same.
They own 75% of every team in the league.
I think we need to just cave and just be the biggest PIF fans of all time. Like we're just support the PIF. That's like they're just taking over everything, right? It's over. Like how can you go up against that? They're building $1 trillion city that's 110 miles long. It's one building.
And they're actually doing it. I mean, like at least construction started. Like it's going to be really interesting if they ever come for like an actually treasured American sport. You know what I mean? Like if they come for like football or baseball or basketball, that's when Congress is really going to get upset. They're doing the hearings now. Wait till they try and sign like Patrick Mahomes come play football in Saudi for $2 billion a year. Then things are going to start to fly on the floor of the United States Senate. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, if they just buy like the Kansas City Chiefs or something, like it's like I don't know, it's not that easy. But if they just like what are they going to do? What are we going to do?
We're back. We're back in Saudiville. We're just back. We're just like I don't know, man. I don't know.
This fucking podcast has been horrific with the spaces in between. I think because Riggs is like 1 second off. I don't know how people have been listening to this for an hour. There's always a second of silence that would drive me fucking nuts listening to. We stopped.
I feel like Alex Bush cuts those out.
Does he cut those out?
Yeah. Those will be cut. They won't even notice.
Big time.
Wow, that's pretty impressive because
we're cooking.
It's been
we're
what,
cooking,
an
baby.
hour and 8 minutes of that? The people are like, these guys are fucking right on top of each other. That's incredible. They're just firing because in real time we say something and then there's a full second and a half of dead silence.
We've learned like you
that
adapt.
Sucks.
I know, but the people listening have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, we got to figure out like internet on the road. There's just
Is there like if
Riggs is a potato right now?
Yeah, he looks like shit.
Like, how are you supposed to have a conversation?
He looks.
Is there like a if you said money is no option, what's the best internet situation you can buy on the market?
Right.
Like what is it?
There's got to be like internet that like these networks use to right.
Well, when we like do a live show, when we go to Corn Ferry and like All Business Pete gets his truck, they'll legitimately purchase like a line, I think, from Verizon or like one of these actual towers where they'll get a dedicated line of internet straight from the source. Whether that's from I don't know where internet's coming from. It's coming from a satellite or whatever, but the source is it's hitting the fucking satellite, it's getting into this tower and it's feeding out fiber optic lines. And that's a mentally unstable person speaking about internet and how it works. But I'm pretty sure that's like as best as you can get is a dedicated line of internet that like it costs them hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think, for like a day. You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember it being a huge deal when we would go do a live show and I'd be like, Pete, I need a dedicated line because Dave wants to do a show from the parking lot of the Cleveland Indians game, Guardians game. Against the Red Sox. I remember I couldn't get any internet. We wanted to do a live show from the parking lot. I'm like, I need a dedicated line. He's like, that would cost like $200,000. Just do the fucking show from your phone. I was like, all right. I don't even know. I don't even know how that all works.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get can you get like a fancier hotspot, basically? Would that be the best answer?
Yeah, you should have one of those, I think they're called like the Verizon, like something packs, like the MiFi or something like that.
I've heard MiFi before.
I think it's called MiFi. Basically, it's a pack that will just generate 5G internet for you in the room. So we would have that on like the bus, like the tour bus that would go from city to city. And whenever they needed to do the rundown or whatever, literally driving on the road, they would connect to that Verizon MiFi, MiPack, whatever. Basically, just hook it up into an outlet, and it will connect. But you pay like a monthly subscription for it. It's almost like having phone internet. It's like a 5G hotspot, but way better than the phone. It's got way more antennas, way more places for it to actually connect as opposed to a phone.
That's got to be the answer.
That's got to be the answer. Now that we talked it out,
it's probably better
because this is unacceptable.
Logging in and hoping to God that the Wi-Fi is
highest ranked. Yeah, we're the highest ranked like golf podcast in the world. We like can't even speak to each other. It's crazy. It's crazy. But Alex has to edit it all, which is amazing. I thought for sure they'd be listening to those fucking dead.
No way.
No,
that
dude,
would we would be like we would be the worst podcast ever.
Oh, I mean, that's gonna take him 8 hours, right? Because I mean, it's an hour and 30 minutes worth of just dead silence in between every
Alex
single sentence.
Alex is so mad right now. He's like, Frankie doesn't realize like what I'm grinding on. Yeah. He's like, he thinks I just press play and then press.
No, I've always known that I thought it was more levels. I didn't know he was taking out every piece of fucking space. Alex, what's wrong with you? That's
good thing we're doing it on Sunday. He's got 36 hours to do it.
That's got to drive you crazy.
How long is that going to take you, Bush?
Is he still there? Or is he like? Oh, there he is.
No, I'm here. I mean, that's what we do with every podcast. Even when you guys have good internet, there's still dead space sometimes. But this one, there will obviously be dead space before Riggs talks every single time. But it'll probably take a couple hours. But it's really not that. It's not that tough. Just time consuming, but it's fine.
Jesus. So we should stop talking. You want us to stop talking? Is that what you're telling us?
No, keep going. Keep going.
He probably wants you to stop talking would be the thing.
I am playing golf today in a few hours, and I am so damn excited. I've been watching short game videos, Short Game Chef yesterday. You ever get that? Where just for whatever reason, you get super excited for one round of golf. Playing with 3 of my buddies. I think it's a scratch game. Everyone's like same handicap, so we're just going to play like best ball, no strokes involved. Everyone's going to be playing for money, and you just watch videos a lot the night before, and you watch the professionals, and they make it look so easy. And I'm going to go out there and not do anything that they do and shoot my 76 and be frustrated. But I am so excited for golf today. And what a joy this game is. What a blessing it is to have in our lives, because I have played golf thousands and thousands and thousands of times. But for whatever reason, I am so excited to get to the golf course. I'm going to get there like an hour before. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to do a little breathing exercise before I start my warm-up. I mean, we're going to be the balance that I'm going to have. My chakras are going to be so aligned. Breathing exercise, and then I'm going to warm up
before your range.
I'm going to do breathing 100%. I'm going to be totally in control of my emotion and my trajectory from the first hole on, and I'm going to play some golf today, and I'm going to win some money at the end of it. There's just nothing better. It's getting to the point in New York where it's cooled down a little bit. Dude. It's not quite as hot as it was. It's been really nice. Yesterday was a lovely night out. I can't wait to be outside today.
That was an amazing little pump up speech. I think I just went on my little app. I think I'm gonna go play some.
You gotta
holes,
play.
maybe.
Look, it's so nice out.
It's beautiful out.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm dealing with a little toe hook situation. My miss now is a toe hook, and it's frustrating because I'm like cruising drives further than I've ever hit them, like launching them high draws. I'm hitting them like 290, 300 when I'm, and like it feels easy when I catch it. And then 3 in a row are just like a toe hook into the right rough. It's not out of bounds, but it's like 220, and it leaves me like 195 yards into the green, and I'm in the rough, and I'm hitting a 5-iron out of it, and I'm chunking it into the front of the green, and then I'm chipping up, and I'm like maybe making the par, but I'm most likely bogeying, and I'm ending my round with like an 82, and I know it could have been a 75 because I'm cruising drives when I'm connecting on them. I'm nipping wedges like the best of them. I mean, my wedge game has gotten so much better. It's
your
crazy.
Wedge game's insane.
I know if I have an uphill chip,
it's crazy.
If I have an uphill fucking wedge shot, I'm making it up and down, man. I'm just doing it. And I just can't get rid of the toe hook. I don't know if I'm staying too far away from the ball. I've always stood far away from the ball. So I feel like I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that miss is.
I saw the top comment on your Stu Finder video was Frankie not telling Stu to move closer to the ball all day is criminal.
I know. I mean, the series is really fun, and I find myself during the episode trying to give them like lessons, which is insane, but you can't like not. Stu's
the
like,
guy's making a double par on every hole. You're going to
he's
step
asking
in.
me like where to put the golf ball in his pocket, or does he hold it? So I'm like, oh, Stu, like let's like try and like square up the club face. And everyone's like, well, if you're going to give him a lesson, why don't you like tell him the correct amount of distance to stand away from the ball? I'm like, I'm not thinking about all that when we're fucking filming the video. We're trying to make it funny. We're trying to just get through the round. Like it comes out naturally to like try and help him. I noticed that like I did it a lot with Stu, but he was swinging and missing. Like, I don't know. The guy was out of control. And then there's a lot of comments, and I think they're just trolls, but they wanted me to not count the swings and misses. Like that was insane. Imagine being on the other side of that, where I'm just like, no. Like I would get roasted for not counting them. They'd be like, that's not golf. Like the guy tried to swing. He swung and missed. He almost broke his ankle. He literally swung and missed, almost broke his ankle. Imagine that not being an attempted swing. That's insane. They're like, the ball didn't move. Are you on the PGA Tour? It's like, well, like if we didn't count it, they'd be like, are you even playing golf? This is stupid. Why don't you just drop the ball in the hole then?
Can't win.
No, you have to be on the right side of that to win. You know what I mean? Like the people complaining about that are just wrong.
This is getting me really excited for Sand Valley. Like Dan Rappaport's pump up speech got me really, really excited for that. Like we're gonna be out there.
When the four of us are all together, bro, with the cameras rolling and the banter flowing. We've been a year in now, so you guys can like say shit to me without worrying if I'm gonna take it fucking personal. Like this is gonna be fun as hell.
I'm excited to go play golf. We're gonna have a little Sunday, play a little golf. I think that's all I got. We got Long Island Classic. I think there's going to be a couple Islanders out there, which Frankie will be jacked up about. This podcast will come out after that's occurred. So again, we're not trying to time hop too much on people, but yeah. And then we've got 20th anniversary Barstool Sports on Wednesday night. We're going to be, and we talked about our outfits and stuff a little bit at the beginning, but we're going to be up in Boston, House of Blues. Frankie's going to be playing. So yeah, we got kind of a big deal coming Wednesday night.
There might be tickets available for that. I'm not sure.
I think there are.
I know the links. All right, yeah. So if you want to go, if you're in the Boston area and want to go to the Barstool 20th Anniversary Awards, come out. There's going to be a ton of Barstool talent there. Dave is hosting. Pretty much anybody you've ever seen grace the beautiful and wonderful website that is barstoolsports.com. I think they're going to be there. So, come out, buy a ticket, and say what up.
It's going to be a lovely time. Congratulations to whoever won the BMW Championship. Really excited to see,
Max Homa.
How they do at the at Eastlake in Atlanta. And Dan's going to be back on the scene, back on the grind. So we got merchandise, Eastlake. If you're there, Tour Championship. Obviously the PGA Tour's finale event, and we got merch there. That's really sick. Actually, we looked at this merchandise.
That's
great.
phenomenal.
We'll have Ryder Cup merch coming out in a couple weeks as well, so people can get all hyped up for that. But for me, that's all I got. Excited about golf. Great pump up speech, Dan. We'll be back on Thursday per usual. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit hard.
Hit hard.